Let's go to Craig Button this morning. Good morning, Mr. Button. The Edmonton Oilers scoring a bunch of goals last night, making history. Bouchard with a hat trick. Ekholm follows it up with a hat trick of his own. Something to behold last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so fast. Like, I mean, it was a 2-1 game turned into a 5-2 game, like in a flash, right? And you think about, like, Darnell Nurse had a couple more chances, and I mean, everybody was moving there on that blue line. Wallman had a couple of blasts. It's I bet you if you asked Connor McDavid after the game, he would have been as happy as anybody for those guys. To score and, see them get moving and do the things that they did in that game. And, hey, Matthias Ekholm, hat trick. Whatever Evan Bouchard can do, he can do just as well. I bet you that's what he was saying.
Well, he did say last night in his postgame that we just played, he doesn't think he'll get another one. This is probably his last one. Know. So he definitely
never say never.
He definitely should enjoy it. It's funny. We're talking about the blue line, so let's just stick with the blue line for a second. And we haven't chatted with you since Evan Bouchard had one of the best games that a defenseman's ever had. 8 shots on goal, hat trick, 6 points on Saturday night. And it's been a very interesting conversation over the last 48 hours because you see what he can do when he's on, and it's incredible. And then, yesterday on our show and across the day on the state, people are texting in. They're going, I asked Drager yesterday, I said, if somebody gets hurt on the back end for Canada, has Bouch done enough over the last couple of months to maybe get the call? And I don't think he'd be, the first or second name called. But, man, the top end of Evan Bouchard is tough to match, isn't it?
Yeah, what's really interesting to me, I mean, Raymond Bourque won 5 Norris trophies, I believe, Hall of Famer and everything. Back in his day, I heard similar comments, Ray Bourque, he can't play defense. It was really interesting because I remember Harry Sinden saying this. This is Harry Sinden, I paraphrase. He said, Raymond Bourque, he makes 2, maybe sometimes 3 mistakes a game. Sometimes, it ends up in our net, but he does 20 things every night that helps us win a lot more than we lose. And he goes, if I'm going to get all of him focused on the 2 or 3 things, I'm going to lose the 20. And I'm not losing the 20. I think that you have a lot of similarities with Evan Bouchard. It's easy to look at what he might not do really well. He's killing penalties. I know last night the penalty kill wasn't great, but
tough night to bring up the penalty kill.
Yeah,
he does kill penalties.
You take him for what he is. Okay, he plays big minutes. He plays the game. He does some special things with the puck. He's got a great shot. Listen, I said it yesterday. Like if I had a replacement for that team, get Colt Parayko off the team and put Evan Bouchard on.
Craig, it was our first look at the Ducks.
I want Drew Doughty. I want Drew Doughty on the team because I want Drew Doughty for his experience, his character. When I say his character, he's somebody that can keep it light and make it serious. He's a guy that can calm you down and working with everybody. Been there, done that. I want Drew Doughty on my team, but I want Evan Bouchard on the team too.
There you go. I mean,
2 or 3 2 guys. Who are the 2 guys that would be ahead of Evan Bouchard? Who?
Well, especially.
And don't tell me Matthew Schaefer. Don't tell me Matthew Schaefer.
I thought you loved Matthew Schaefer.
I love him, but don't tell me he's going to be ahead of Evan Bouchard.
Who are the other names? Chikrin. I made a joke yesterday that Cooper would put Radish on the team ahead of Bouch because he plays with the Tampa Bay Lightning's having a phenomenal season. But
that's a really good point, right? That's a really good point. I mean, he puts Cirelli on the team ahead of Bennett, and Bennett's way better. Yeah. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Bouchard when he's on his game is pretty impressive. What do you want to go?
And let me say this too: Bennett's not just better than Cirelli; he's way better than Cirelli.
He is way better.
That's a big miss by them. That's a big miss by them.
I'm getting a little nervous about the roster. The more it plays along, Parayko's not having. Parayko's having a season where he shouldn't be on Team Canada. I know you said Drew Doughty, and I understand why he's there, but since the team was announced, Doughty hasn't been playing very well. And then, Sanheim and Harley, I'm like...
8 defensemen.
Yeah.
Harley's been awful.
He's been awful. We'll see how it
plays
out.
I get worried, too.
Who's that?
Yeah, we will. Hey, listen, they got a really good team. I know that. I'm just saying that, come on, I mean, some of the decisions, and I hope nobody gets, it's like having Rob Zaminer on your team.
That poor Rob. Like, imagine being Rob Zombie and you're looking now and you're like, oh, that guy's the me on the team.
Yeah, it
like,
should be a nice thing that you get.
That's got to suck.
And Rob's a great guy. Rob played, but like, come on, like these are the decisions that end up ultimately.
Why did he make? What was he like? You might remember better than us. Why was he on that team? Like, it was somebody in management. Like,
Clark, Bob Gainey, and Pierre Gauthier were the managers, and they wanted that type of player. Okay,
unbelievable.
I feel that. Listen, Anthony Cirelli has played hard and he's been a good player. I'm not trying to, but he's not in the same class of player as Sam Bennett. He simply isn't, and I think it's a major miss.
All right, let's go Ducks. Go Ducks.
What are your thoughts on the Ducks here, Craig? We got the Sharks coming in Thursday. Maybe just both. Both of these teams now kind of, emerging here in the Pacific in terms of, that 3 spot or a wild card or maybe even higher. Your thoughts? It was first blush against the Ducks for this Oilers team. It'll be first blush Thursday as well.
And they didn't have McTavish. They didn't have Carlson. They didn't have Terry.
And Husso in net. So, what'd you make of that Ducks team? And then if you could follow up with what we can expect from the Sharks.
Yeah, well, let me just answer the general question you posed there, Eric. And I think that are they in the playoff hunt? Yeah, they are. And certainly, you look at how much the Ducks improved last year, and under Joel Quenneville, they're taking more strides. I mean, they went through that slide there, that stumble, but they've come out of it really nice. And as you point out, missing some players. So I think they're right in the hunt. I think the Sharks are right in the hunt. And they went and traded for Kiefer Sherwood with the idea that they're going to add a little bit more to give themselves a chance. I think and why don't we just call it straight up? I mean, the Pacific Division is not like this runaway division.
No.
I mean, there's 3 points separating the Oilers and the Ducks. If the Ducks win that game last night, they're ahead of the Oilers. So it's not like there's this wide chasm between these teams. Should be serious about trying to make the playoffs. It's been a number of years. They got some young guys. That would be a good experience. I thought last night's game was pond hockey. It was just back
loose,
and forth.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, loose. I mean, it was unbelievably loose. It was like the guy that lost 150 pounds and he put on his old jeans. That's how loose it was. So when you start to watch, I mean, that game was. I mean, coaches. I mean, I am sure that both Chris and Joel were looking at each other, going like, "Okay, there's nothing we can really do about this. We'll just let it keep going." The Sharks play hard, and they have some gaps in their team, and they have some looseness, but they play hard and they stay on you, and they're a team that if they get behind, they don't change the way they play. And if they get ahead, they don't change the way they play. And I think that that's a real model of consistency that works. And when I say they have some gaps, it's just that they get overmatched sometimes because their depth and their talent isn't as high as it will be one day. But they're no easy game to play against. They're no easy team to play against. And they'll make you pay if you make mistakes. And they're a consistent, competitive team. So the Oilers got to be ready for that.
What are your thoughts on Beckett Sennecke? Because they showed it last night on the broadcast too. Like when he was drafted, even he was like, huh? Like he was stunned that he went 3rd overall. But here we are. He went back, played in Oshawa again, made the Ducks this year, being the 3rd overall pick in 2024, has 43 points in 53 games. They obviously a pick that stunned a lot of people, but it has almost worked immediately. What's the we watching? He was excellent.
Confident.
Played like 25 minutes. I thought he was outstanding. Coming off that hat trick in Calgary as well. What do they have on their hands here at this kid?
You know what stunned everybody when they didn't pick him for the World Junior team last year. I mean, like that same look. Like you talk about mistakes. Anyway, it's funny about that draft. Okay, so let's just go back in time and right there and everything. It shouldn't have come as a shock. It comes as a shock because people get all married to their lists and, oh, this is the way it should be. Oh, my God, they didn't take the best player available. Celebrini was the best player in the draft, full stop, okay? And then there was 6 defensemen available. And the Anaheim Ducks were not taking a defenseman. They were not taking a defenseman. They were taking a forward. So why don't we narrow it down to who the forwards were? The forwards were Sennecke, Demidov, Lidstrom, Berkeley Catton. Those were the guys, and who won 6? TJ Ginla.
Ginla, yeah.
Okay? They weren't taking a center. So let's take Lidstrom and Catton out of there. Let's just take them out of the mix. There was only 3 guys that they were going to take at that spot. Sennecke, Demidov, or Ginla. Those are the only guys. So everybody said, oh, what a surprise, what a surprise. It wasn't a surprise. It was exactly what they were going to do. But, oh, my God, I had him rated 9th. He went 3rd. What a shock. Oh, my God, they went off the board. No, they didn't go off the board. They looked at their board and they said, that's our guy. I think it came simply down to this. I think they took the guy that was bigger and could have a little bit more of a physical impact. I mean, Tej is a really good player. Demidov is going to be one of the finalists along with Schaefer and Sennecke for Rookie of the Year this year. So, Montreal did fine, but that's where they went. They got a real good force there. And the other thing about Beckett, he's really confident. You see that look on his face at the draft? It's like, oh, I am surprised. I didn't see this coming, but he's confident. He's not arrogant. He's a real confident player and really believes in what he can do. And he's just getting better with each passing game. I mean, he owned the game against the Calgary Flames. I don't know if you have a recollection of the overtime goal. He started out and it looked like a 2-on-1. He never looked to his left because he wasn't going to pass the puck. He looked straight at, and he never looked behind him because he said, nobody's catching me. And he buried that baby.
Craig Button with us. You're on fire today, Craig. So let's go to the Leafs for a second because I got to get your thoughts on Nylander flipping the bird
5K.
to our TSN
5K
camera.
fine.
I got fined $5,000 for it. I was texting with some of the TSN crew yesterday, and they're saying Austin Matthews doesn't speak before or after the game on a day when Marner's back, and then Nylander does what he does. Things becoming unraveled a little bit there with the core that's left over, or what?
When you let the children run the playground, you got a big problem.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah. Oh, come on, Dustin and Eric. You know what's happening there. I'm running a trial. Hey, Austin, this is the deal. You're the captain. You're speaking.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So Austin's being allowed to do that. Who's allowing him to do that? Upper management and everything. Not happening, would never happen. They're letting it happen. William Nylander, what a joke. And then he goes on social media. Oh, yeah, I was a little frustrated. No, you weren't a little frustrated. You were a little childish little brat.
Yeah.
That's what you were. And that's an immature act. And people go, oh, yeah, well, like everything. Like, seriously, he thought about it, too. This was not something that was a moment of, like, get out of my face. He looked, and then he decided to do it. And William's a smart person. This isn't somebody that lacks an IQ. So a purposeful, call it I would say thumb in his nose, but that wasn't what he did. And it's like, honestly, they should be embarrassed. They should be embarrassed, and they're embarrassing themselves and the organization and the NHL.
Craig, as always, man, you are the absolute best. We love having you, and we'll do it again next Tuesday.
Okay, I look forward to it.
There you go. That's Craig Button. Just on fire today. People were referring to him as the Patino Heat. Yeah, like with Hernan Salas, the Latino Heat.
Well, he had the impression, the draft thing, which was great. He had the skinny man in the jeans who lost weight.
Oh, man. That was one of the best
and then you
button
had him
hits
with the
we've ever
Leafs.
had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tremendous.